Hello.
Hello.
Say everybody, it's that time of year once again. Jim Messina here, VintageDrumsTalk.com. This is what we all wait for every year. I'm at the 2019 Chicago Vintage and Custom Drum Show. It's so good to be here. We haven't even started shooting yet today, okay? The show just opened. It's gonna be great from what I see so far, and we're gonna give it all to you. We're going to focus on a lot of the vintage guys that we usually do, but we're also going to present a little more for you, okay? So hang in there. Let's get the show started. Guys, I told you it was going to be great. You recognize these two, Johnny and Brian.
Hey guys.
Drugans, drums. Guys, how you doing, man?
Great, how you doing?
It
Hey,
is
how are ya? Thanks for
so
having
good
us.
to see you. I missed you for a whole year. Man, oh man. You know, I walked in. I'm telling you, this grabbed my eye right away. You guys are not going to believe what they have here. You never see this finish, okay? Talk about rare finishes, and I've never seen it in this color. You want to tell me about this? Check
this is
out.
a beautiful 1970s, early 1970s, 22, 13, 16 in rarely seen red AZTEC finish. They're 3-ply drums with clear maple interiors and reinforcement rings. They're in impeccable condition, and some lucky person is going to go home with an ultra rare set. We've been buying, selling, and trading vintage drums for quite a few years now, and this is the first and only complete AZTEC set that we've had in our shop, and the red is kind of particularly rare among the AZTEC finishes, and we're excited to have it.
I'm telling you guys, I've never seen it. I've seen the other color. What was it, like yellowish?
Yeah, there's a green AZTEC, a gold AZTEC, a white AZTEC.
The gold is what I saw,
Yeah.
but nowhere near this clean. This is fantastic, man. You guys, I don't know how you come across this stuff.
Thank
Fill
you,
us in, huh? Jeez. And right next to it, we got a set of standards here.
Yeah, this is a cool lemon strata set in
yeah.
the kind of more rarely seen smaller sizes. It's a 20, 12, 14 with a matching snare. It's in beautiful condition.
Now, what did you have to do anything to this set?
This one came to us in remarkably clean condition,
Yeah.
and there was no restoration involved.
Yeah, because I see, the hoops, there's a little bit of chipping, but that is so acceptable.
Just enough to keep it honest, you know?
Exactly, exactly. But man, I'm telling you guys, rare finishes. Let's see, what else would you like to show us?
This set may not be the prettiest set at the show, but it is pretty darn rare. It's a copper lacquer. Is that bronze or copper? I can't remember what we call that. I'm having a brain freeze at the moment. It's I believe it's bronze lacquer.
That's right.
But it's a
Now, if you
beautiful
hone in on
2012,
this,
14.
You'll see the checking in it.
Yeah.
But it's rare.
Color
It's so
matched
rare that
hoops
you don't want to
and,
touch it.
Yeah.
That's the thing with vintage drums, guys. Like I keep telling you, there's a point where you have to make a decision, really, to just, wait a minute, am I going to devalue it by trying to, restore it, or am I going to, make it worth more money? Well, this is one case, that perfect decision on their part. That just shows you these guys are really pros, the Drugan brothers. Every year we love to come and see them now because they just really, in the last few years, even though they've been doing it a long time, for Vintage Drums Talk and you guys, they've just come on the scene maybe in the last 2-3 years. Every year, great stuff, as you can see. It's been a pleasure,
Thanks
you guys.
so much,
You're
Jim.
fantastic collectors. You got a great shop. Jim MESSINA will be right back with another fantastic collection to show you. See you later. Say everybody, it's that time of year. It's getting ready for the show. It's 1 week out. Jim MESSINA here at Vintage Drums Talk, along with Ken Junta, my good buddy. Remember Ken Junta, owner of Ace Music, and he bought the 13th Slingerland Black Beauty. Remember that? Well, I want to show you his store. Ken's got this store. He's had it for how many years now, Ken?
6 years.
6 years. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Brett.
He was going to go to the show with me, but he couldn't make it because he's got so much business going on around here. Look, he's got tons of stuff, and it's ready waiting for you, okay? He's on our website. Go check out Ace Drums. Go in the links section and check it out. You can see a lot of cool stuff that he's got. He got Ludwig, Rogers, all the vintage stuff that you could possibly want. Just got a new cool Gretsch set in the right finish. What is it, Midnight Blue? I think that's what it is, isn't it? All right. He's also got a lug up there with some drum up there with some Zephyr lugs on it, 30s, but a lot of used stuff. He's got a beautiful twin strainer Ludwig from the 30s in the back there. But he gets this stuff in all the time, contacts me all the time. He's been a good friend and a good guy in the vintage drum community. So guys, check it out. Ace Drums at vintagedrumstalk.com. All right, Ken.
Have a good trip.
Everybody, we were just taking a little break, and I was lucky to run across BART here, a good buddy. He's involved in the vintage drum community. I'm telling you, BART Vanderzeet. He's going to tell us all about. He kind of does what we do, but. Bart,
exactly.
Tell the vintage drum community all about it.
All right, so my name is Bart Vanderzeet. I do the Drum History Podcast. So what I do is interview experts about the great drum brands, Ludwig, Leedy, Slingerland, Gretsch. We also do topics like the silent movie era drummers and trap drummers, history of the drum set. And then you can find me on social media. I post a cool old drum video every day. And we've built a big community. Everyone, Billy Cobb and Buddy Rich, all these people. So it's just all about the community, and I'm trying to be like you. So it's just an honor to meet you and be on the show.
Well, you know what, Bart? It's funny. I was just sitting with Mike Corrado over there, and we were talking how old each of us were. And I was telling the young people, like I kind of do, that I say, look, you guys got to get interested in this stuff. I'm presenting you with John Aldridge and people like that. And now we meet Bart, who is doing exactly what I want you to do. Learn from Bart, because he's kind of carrying the torch.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are.
I'm 29, and I'm doing it because I don't know a lot of this stuff until I interview Bill Ludwig or I interview Brooks. And
now I'm telling
learning.
you, he's talking about Brooks Tiegler, who is an expert on Slingerland and Gene KRUPA and all that. 29 years old. This is a perfect age to get into the knowledge of vintage drums and the history. We've got to preserve that, and you're doing it. I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's an honor.
Bart, thank you so much.
Thank
Check
you.
Bart out. Here's his card right here.
Drum history.
That's right, drum history. Bart Vanderzeet. Jim MESSINA, VintageDrumsTalk.com. Coming to you from the 2019 Chicago and Vintage Drum Show. Folks, I'm telling you, I'm really glad we decided to take this break at this little table here, because everybody's walking by the table and we're picking them off. Guess who we got now? Donn Bennett from Seattle. You know this name, very famous for having celebrity sets. Don, how you been, man?
Jim, I'm doing great. How you doing? Glad to be here.
I always start getting tired around this time at the show, and the older I get, you know, the harder these shows are to do. I got to wear these stupid headphones because I've gone deaf, everybody. But anyways, Don, I've only spoken to you once. We've had, you know, that interview in the old building.
Yep.
Since then, you've just been trucking along with the celebrity sets, right?
You know, that is this little niche that I've found myself a way into, and it's just working. Stuff keeps showing up. Stuff keeps, I keep finding cool stuff. It's been great.
I don't know how you do it, but you've got something very important to tell us this year. I know that.
Yes, I do. I've got, I've got a couple things I'm going to be talking about today. One is the Hal Blaine collection, which Hal contacted me many years ago to help him sell a lot of his drums, and so I've been doing that, or I did that, but I still have most of the big stuff, like the monster sets. Those are gone. The Timbali sets are gone, but I still have several of his smaller items that I have on display here. I'll be talking about those today.
Now, when you say the monster sets, are you talking about Blameyer sets?
Yes.
Okay.
There were two of those big Blameyer sets.
Yes.
And those are long since gone.
Tell the folks what a Blameyer set
really
is.
A Blameyer set is Blameyer was the manufacturer. They made fiberglass drums. So they made these custom 7-tom sets. It's basically an octave, full octave. Started at 6, went down to a 15-inch open-ended concert tom. And that's what Hal Blaine used to record, like, literally thousands of his biggest songs.
Right, Hal Blaine. But guys, believe me, you've heard Hal Blaine.
Yes.
He's on just such a wide range of recordings. I'm telling you. So, what is the color? I mean, weren't they like a green?
It's sort of a greenish brown. It's not a particularly attractive color.
No, but that's how you can tell a Blameyer.
Yeah. It's just like plain fiberglass.
Yes.
But they sound amazing. I mean, all of those hit records don't lie. They just plain sounded great.
We had him here one year when was it Bob Schwartz or
Bermuda
Schwartz, and he was doing. I said, "Hey, roll down those toms for me," and he just and I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They sound fantastic. Those concert toms, you know, being fiberglass like that, just beautiful.
Anytime anybody wants to say, you know, concert toms sort of got a bad rap, but you just listen to those records, man. They don't lie.
I used them in the 70s, open end bottoms. I don't know. It was just the sound of the 70s, and you tape them up and make them. You know, you really. It was just the recording sound, but
they sound great.
Now you have another really cool thing going on.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, let me tell you all about it, folks.
So, tell me more about it.
There's this guy named Gene KRUPA. Okay.
Yes.
Take it from here.
Okay, so my good buddy Don McCauley, he is Charlie Watts' drum tech.
Okay.
And Charlie is a very big collector too. Charlie has an amazing collection, and Don helps him with that, with the collection and finding drums and choosing the right ones. So Charlie and Don acquired this big collection of Gene Krupa's drums directly from Gene's ex-wife. I mean,
you believe that?
It's a load of stuff. So Charlie has quite a bit of it, and then Don has brought here to the show several of the smaller items. But he's got basically a full set of Gene's drums from all different eras. So with different, this is a set that he used.
We got to go look at that.
This is Gene's set that he had in his basement, and it was just set up. You know, it's got like a 40s rack tom, and I believe it's like a 60s floor tom, and a newer bass drum. He's got a couple of amazing Rogers snares that have Slingerland hardware on them.
Ah,
Because he wanted to use that drum,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah,
had a
yeah.
Slingerland endorsement. Really amazing stuff.
now is he just showing those, displaying them?
That is for sale.
Ha! So he's trying to sell off all that stuff.
Yeah. So Charlie kept a large part of this collection, and then there's just a lot of this stuff that, was extraneous in his collection, and so Donn has it here.
How did he happen to make that happen?
Donn found them. He's always out looking for stuff, and
Yeah.
one thing led to another. I believe Gene's ex-wife contacted Donn. You should get him over here. He could tell the story. He could tell it better than I
Yeah,
could.
I'm just surprised that you didn't end up with him, because that's the kind of thing you usually handle.
Well, it is, but he was in the right place at the right time. And I believe she also lives very close to where he
Okay.
lives in Massachusetts. And, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
She didn't go online. She just found, actually, I don't know how they actually connected, but I'm sure there's a story there, and Donn would be the guy to give it to you.
This is interesting because I don't know if it was last year or the year before, we spoke with Mark Cooper.
Okay.
And he had this tiny little 10-inch tom, and he was able, with Brooks Tiegler, to authenticate that it was actually played by Gene.
No kidding.
And it was a really cool segment, but it's too bad he doesn't I asked him, Mark, would you bring that this year? Because you had told me about this.
Right.
And I thought, wouldn't that be cool to have Mark over there and both talking about this played by Gene's KRUPA stuff. But he says, I sold it to Mike Corrado. Of course.
Of course.
Folks, I got to tell you, this has been a pleasure, man.
Hey, you too. And you know what? Get Don McCauley over here. I'll send him over.
I hope you do. I hope
he
you
knows
do.
the story much better than I do.
Yeah. Folks, this guy is bigger than you think.
I'll give you a break.
Really, man. He has had some. Tell him some of the celebrity sets you've had.
Well, let's see. Well, there's been the Hal Blaine.
Yeah.
Several of his drums. I have had, and I still have, a number of Elvin's drums. Massive collection came from Elvin Jones. The Rascals, Kiss.
Jeez. What was the burnt up set?
Bad Company. Kansas.
Oy.
I can never remember this stuff. There's been a lot of stuff.
So-
I'm writing a book because I'm starting to forget all this stuff.
Yep. Fantastic. Well, we're going to be looking for that book then.
My goal is to have it out by the show by this time next year.
Folks,
1 year we will hopefully be doing. I'm just going to say we will be doing a launch 1 year from today.
do you have a title?
Right here.
Do you have a title?
Yes, the book is going to be called "To All the Drums I've Loved Before."
To All the Drums I've Loved Before by Donn Bennett out of Seattle, the celebrity drum collector. Donn, it's been a pleasure today.
Jim, absolutely.
I have
Glad
so
to be
much
here.
respect for you. I'm telling you, my friend.
I love watching your videos.
Oh, great. Hey,
Me too.
we got more coming to you just like this. We're going to go find Don McCauley, too. Hang in there, folks. VintageDrumsTalk.com.